Okay, now we're going to move into math. Before these pages, there is a game. I'm not going to go over the game, but the game is still a useful thing to do if you have time. But I'm going to begin by going over just a couple problems. I'm not going to do them all, but I'm going to do a couple as examples in case your child needs help or you need help helping your child. Okay, so this first problem says, given the rectangle's perimeter, find the unknown side length. And boys and girls, we have done perimeter and area. We know that perimeter is when you add all the sides up. So the length plus the width plus the length plus the width is perimeter when I add all the sides. And area is when I multiply the sides. So length times width is my equation for area. Okay, here it already gives us the perimeter on both of these problems. We don't need to find it. And then it gives us one of the side lengths, but not the other. So we need to find that one. So I can plug it into my equation, and I know that if this side is 40, this bottom side is also 40, and this side is x because we don't know what it is. So this side is also x, we don't know it either. So I'm going to plug in what I know to my equation. So I know that the perimeter is 180, and I know the length, but not the width. So I can put in length is 40 plus whatever x is, plus the length, which is 40, plus whatever x is. I'm just putting in the values that I already know in my equation. Now I'm going to simplify it. So I know what 40 plus 40 is. What's 40 plus 40? 80. And I can actually add x plus x. If I do x plus x, that gives me 2 x's. We write that as 2x. Okay, now I can simplify my equation. I'm trying to get x by itself to figure out what that means. So here I add 80. I'm going to do the opposite of that. I'm going to take 80 away from here and from here. So when I take 80 away from 180, 180 minus 80 gives me 100. So now I have 100 equals 2x. Okay, so I multiply 2 times my x. I'm going to do the opposite of that. I'm going to divide. Divide that side by 2 and this side by 2. How many 2's go into 100? An easier way to think about this is how many 2's go into 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 5 times. And then I add my 0 back in. So 50. Okay, let's see if that works. Let's check our work. If this equals 50 and this equals 50, do I actually get a perimeter of 180? Well, 50 plus 50 is 100. Plus 40 would be 140, and plus 40 more would be 180. So that's correct. I know that x equals 50. Okay, you can do this same process with the next problem. You're just going to put in 1,000 as the perimeter and 150 for the sides instead. Okay, let's look down here to number 2, and let's do A together. So this time it tells us the area and the perimeter. The area is 32 and the perimeter is 24. We want to figure out what the sides are. I think the best way to figure this out is just through guessing and checking. So area, we know, is length times width, and the area is 32. So I need to think of 2 numbers that will multiply to give me an answer of 32. So let's think of some of the factors of 32, numbers that multiply to 32. Well, 32 times 1 equals 32. But remember, my perimeter also needs to be 24. So if I add 32 plus 1 plus 1, will that give me a perimeter of 24? Let's see. That will give me 32 plus 32 would be 64, plus 1 would be 65, plus 1 more would be 66. Let me make sure I did that right. Yep, 66. My perimeter is supposed to be 24, so that does not work. It cannot be 32 and 1. So let's think of two other numbers that multiply to 32. What about 8 times 4? 8 times 4 gives me 32. Let's see if that works if I add it. 8 plus 8 plus 4 plus 4. 8 plus 8 gives me 16, plus 4 gives me 20, plus 4 more gives me 24. And look at that, 24 is the perimeter, the numbers match. So I know that my answers are 8 and 4. Okay, you can do the same one here with this one. I'm just going to go over one more math problem because the rest are pretty much the same. If your child has any other questions with math, they can definitely reach out to me. You can reach out to me through email. You can message me, send me a text, or call, whatever is most convenient for you, and I will try to get back to you to help. Okay, let's look at this one. A rectangular porch is 4 feet wide. It is 3 times as long as it is wide. Label the diagram with the dimensions of the porch. Okay, so I'm going to look at what they told me. The porch is 4 feet wide. That means that this side is 4 feet. I put FT for feet. And it is 3 times as long as it is wide. So this side is 3 times how wide it is, which is 4 feet. Well, what is 3 times 4, boys and girls? That's 12. So I have 4 feet for the width and 12 feet for the length. Okay, so I already did this part. I labeled my diagram. Now it wants me to find the perimeter. That's easy. I just add the sides up. I have 4 and 12. If this side is 12, this side must also be 12. And if this side is 4, this side must also be 4. So I add them up. And I write my final answer. Don't forget to put feet for your unit. Okay, I'm not going to go over the rest of these problems. However, again, if you have questions, feel free to reach out to me. They are pretty much the same as the ones that I just showed you. I do want to go over what to do on this very last page of the packet. This actually has you going around measuring things in your own house, which I think could be a lot of fun. If you don't have a ruler at home, it has this nice little ruler that you can cut out and use to measure things. So you're going to choose 5 different items. You're going to draw a picture of it, just like they have here. You're going to write what the object is, and then you're going to write how long the sides are, and then finally find the perimeter by adding up all the sides. The last thing that I wanted to point out is that the packets have this first page that includes just some fun things to do with your family. I would encourage you, if your child is bored or if all they're doing is sitting playing video games all day, to try to do some of these different things. And I know it's hard if you're busy or if you're trying to work at home, but try to encourage your child to get outside, to take a walk, to do some activities like running in place, jumping jacks, to sing, to listen to a song, to dance, do things that are getting them up and moving, do artwork, things other than just sitting around all day. We want to make sure that they're healthy in all different ways during this time. That is all I have for you today. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. I encourage you to use it with your child however would be helpful for you. Please let me know if I can do anything to help you. Don't be afraid to reach out. I am here as a resource to continue to help your child learn during this time. I would also like to encourage you to spend time reading. Encourage your child to get on Lexia or Dreambox. If you need help accessing those at home, I am happy to help you. At the same time, if you don't have internet access, I don't want you to stress about that. It is totally okay, and I'm happy to send you other worksheets or resources or things for your child to do if you find that the packet is not enough and they are bored or need more work. So please reach out to me, boys and girls. I really miss you, and it's not the same teaching without a room of students in front of me. So I want you to know that you are missed and that I love you. Bye. See you next week.